All right, we are live. Hey there, everyone. As you're tuning in, we're here for another live recording of the Managing Partners podcast. And today I'm joined with Loren Brown out of Colorado. Loren, thanks so much for joining me. Introduce yourself.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I'm Loren Brown. I'm the managing partner of Ciancio Ciancio Brown. We've got offices in Denver, Westminster, and up in the hills in Breckenridge.
Excellent. And so I love Colorado. I've only been there once. I'm looking forward to traveling back soon. Give us a little bit of background of yourself and how, I've read a little bit of your story, but how you kind of got into law and, kind of fast forward to how you become a founding and, founding member and shareholder at your firm.
Yeah, so history is kind of funny. I started off wanting to be a history professor. Had specialized in Tudor and Stuart England, which is not super marketable, but very interesting. And I was talking to a professor one day, and he said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Well, I want to do what you do." And he said, "Don't do that. Go to law school." So that's how I got on that path. And then, as luck would have it, the summer before I started law school, I was kind of treading water and working for my mother, who works in real estate. Happened to be in the same building as Gene and Cindy Ciancio, and I bumped into Cindy outside the building and met her and struck up a conversation. And she said, "Hey, you're looking for a clerkship, look us up when the time comes." So after the first semester of law school, I ran into her again, and I mentioned that I was looking for a clerkship, and 20 years later, we're all still together. It's been a neat ride. We started out, Gene and Cindy and I, that's a father-daughter combo, very small firm. We could all fit in my car and go to lunch, including all of our staff and admin. We ended up merging with some other firms over the years. And then back in 2013, we decided we kind of liked what we were doing, just our core group. So we broke away and started Ciancio Ciancio Brown, and have grown back up to, I want to say, about 20 attorneys and all of our staff that goes with it. So it's been kind of a fun ride.
Excellent. Great story. And congrats on all the success there. So it's interesting that, you started kind of ground level, still in school, and now here, your name's on the sign with everyone else. So very interesting story, and, kind of how things play out sometimes. And, especially with, you said you guys had some acquisitions and some mergers, and then you decided, hey, we want to go back to kind of what we had going on.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's kind of one of those mailroom to the boardroom stories. And then, with our group, we're a family. Like I said, I've been with Gene and Cindy for 20 years, and Cindy's like a sister, and Gene's like a second father, and it's been great. And that's how we run our firm. We try to be a family and only hiring people that we think are going to be a good part of our group and kind of have that same feel. It's worked really well for us.
Excellent. I couldn't agree more with how we do things here. But it reminded me of the movie The Secret to My Success with
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox. Love that movie.
A little different. I'm not changing clothes in the elevator.
Yeah, not quite the scramble maybe, but yeah. But still, just really awesome story of success. Sounds like you guys are doing great and on the right path, and you got good team, good culture, things like that. So give us a little bit of background, the practice areas that you specialize in for everyone, all the managing partners tuning in now or in the future. What do you guys specialize in, and kind of what practice areas do you cover?
Yeah, so our firm itself has a pretty broad base, but kind of starting with what I do, specialize in personal injury and wrongful death on the plaintiff side. Also do criminal defense, basic, civil litigation, any kind of business dispute that walks in the door. And then my kind of niche or hobby practice is liquor licensing. So those are the things that I do. Then firm-wide, half the firm does nothing but family law all day long. So that's kind of one side of the firm. And then on my side is where we do all of the civil litigation and criminal defense.
Okay. Interesting. So you said the one was you said liquor licensing?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's probably the most fun because I mean, very few times do we have folks opposing liquor licenses, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. And it's nice to be able to help a client build something. So many times our clients come to us in crisis where the worst thing that's happened in their life, be it a divorce or a crime or an injury, and they're looking for our help. Whereas our liquor license folks come to us and, they're trying to build their dream. They've dreamed of opening a restaurant or a bar or even a liquor store, and we get to help that dream come along and make their dream come true. So it's really rewarding and it's a lot of fun.
Very cool. So yeah, so you're getting to work with small business, startups, people trying to make something happen.
Yep.
And you're able to take
our
that.
clients range from, your mom and pop restaurant or liquor store all the way up to multinational corporations. So we do it all. We run the entire gamut on the liquor licensing.
Interesting. So for like the multinational stuff, are they headquartered in Colorado, and that's kind of how you're working with them, or is it you're just working with that?
All over. Like one of my favorite clients is AMC Theaters. I do all their liquor license work in Colorado, and I think they're located out in Missouri, and then have some other national chains that we do work for, and a lot of different avenues on how those folks get to us. I have a really good friend who's out in Oregon who sends us cases, and some other friends out in New Jersey that do the same, and then people in here. It's just kind of never know how they're going to come to you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're the go-to person, or if your marketing is strong, you show up when people are looking, then you're gonna get those opportunities. Real quick, anyone tuning in again, don't forget to ask questions if you have them. We're live on YouTube and LinkedIn right now, so any questions for Loren, ask away. We'll pull those up and we'll get to those questions. So now you in this, maybe you might want to choose a practice area to kind of speak to, but what would be some of the challenges that your clients face, when they're reaching out to you, they're trying to solve a problem, obviously, but what are some of the challenges they're faced with along the way?
I think the most challenging deal with the wrongful death cases, the folks who have lost a loved one because of somebody else's conduct. And, when that happens, not only have they lost their loved one, but they've lost a revenue stream. They've lost their best friend. They've lost a business. They've lost, when somebody dies, it's not just them that dies. It's everything that they touch, and you just see the ripple effects spread. And, my client comes to me in, the worst crisis they can come. And we have to, kind of knuckle down and help them put their life back together. Because it's not just about, there are some attorneys who are just about the case. But we do everything we can to help, provide them support. A lot of people need mental health services, so we have lots of contacts out there that we connect them with. But also, trying to figure out, was there a business that's been damaged by this too? What can our business attorneys do to help them get the business back together? Sometimes folks will pass away and they're divorced, but there's still some child custody things or support issues that are in the background, and our family law team gets to jump in on that. So that's one of the nice things about our firm having such a broad base. On those cases when you really do have the worst crisis imaginable, it's all hands on deck, and we pull people in from every part of the firm to help those folks out and help them move forward.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine all the things that could come about with something like that. And that is a perk when your firm, you say, hey, right down the hall, we need your help. We have a situation here that we need multiple people to get involved in.
Yep.
So
and
especially if you run a business.
Yeah, and that goes back to kind of our family feel, right? Somebody dies in your family, the whole family comes together. Well, same thing in our firm. When a client comes in, the entire firm comes together to help them.
Okay. Well, second question, what are some of the mistakes they may make? So, and again, this could be a business coming to you for a liquor license, or maybe it's a personal injury or wrongful death. But I guess what's some of the mistakes that your clients make often that you wish they didn't, or that might put the case in a worse situation?
I think the biggest mistake that people make is coming to us too late. they have a problem, and Google is really cool at finding like recipes and directions and other things like that. It's one of the worst places you can go in the world for legal advice. So oftentimes something will happen. Somebody will hit Google and start trying to lawyer it on their own. Well, inevitably things get worse. So they've come to us not only with a problem, but a problem that's been exacerbated by bad advice. And the example I always give folks is, if I've got a bum tooth, I can probably Google how to get that tooth out, and I might even succeed, but I'm going to get a much better result with the dentist, right? Same thing on legal advice. Like when people have a legal problem, Google to find a good lawyer, but let that be your only Google inside the case. Don't take legal advice from the internet. Get to a lawyer fast. That is the number one mistake, is just trying to figure it out on your own when you've got folks who are trained to do it ready for you.
Yep. And I know that's, I own a business, of course. And I think even as business owners on the business side, if you're looking for a business lawyer, for one, you're entrepreneurs, right? You're a visionary. I'm gonna figure some of this stuff out, and at least you think you can, right, to some extent. But we have our lawyers for anything we're even considering. Get the lawyers. We're not even trying. We might have some ideas about what we think might work, but other than that, it's we get everybody together and get them on the job. So I hear that time and time again is waiting too long, or doing certain things ahead of talking to a lawyer or getting something in place. Let's say it's like copyright law or things like that, where they've gone too far with something and now they can't really back it up. So very common.
Yeah, you're paying for the problem that existed and then the one that you helped create. So it gets much more expensive. Just get to the right person early.
Well, so I own a digital marketing agency. So we love Google, but good advice from Loren here. Use it to find Loren, and that's it. Don't try to get your law degree overnight on reading a couple articles. So I'm sure Loren's got some good articles on his website that are informative, but fill out the form, give them a call, and don't try to do it yourself. So
you can't run your case off of my articles. It's just a teaser.
It's just it helps inform them about what they can expect or what the process may be, which is important. But in no way should it help them solve the issue by themselves. So really good stuff. So how do you go about getting new clients? And I'm sure there's multiple ways, but what are some of the things that you guys have done, innovative or different, if there are, to secure new clients?
Nothing terribly innovative. I'm a little bit ashamed to say, but our advertising it's not so old school as we're still in the yellow pages, but ours is making sure we've got a really great website and doing all the things with the SEO professionals to make sure that we're showing up where we should show up in Google. That's super important. But really for us, our main marketing comes from relationships. The attorneys that I grew up with and was raised by were all really heavily involved in the Bar Association, and that's where I've done all my good work. I was president of the Colorado Bar back in 2015-16, and for me, it's always been relationships, getting to know people, letting them know what I do, and then doing good work. When I was just talking about the liquor licensing and the people I have throughout the state, and then on the East Coast and the West Coast who are sending me cases inside Colorado. I can trace all of those. I can trace almost every single case that I do liquor license wise to one hearing where I impressed one lawyer. She told another lawyer, he told some others. And then that's just kind of set my network. And it's just been, intentionally doing good work and taking care of my clients. And so when I say old school, it's like really old school.
Hey, nothing is better than referrals. Hands down. Yes. I built my company on referrals for years. That's all I had. And nothing's better than a referral, especially from someone that's trusted. They're not shopping you around. They're saying, hey, I was told to use you by this person that I know and trust. What do I need? Where do I sign? I'm ready to go. So, that's definitely the best form. of getting new clients. And then, of course, yeah, Google, SEO, all those things. You want to be there when someone's searching that doesn't know about you. But it can't replace the power of referrals. It's just how many referrals can you get, and if you're growing, you just need to go beyond that. Then the next step would be to SEO, then advertising, and really in that priority for me.
Yeah, being intentional about what you do in the social media space and things like that. And there are any number of websites that connect to you, be it Avo or Super Lawyers or Best Lawyers. And when you're in those spaces, just being really intentional and making sure that you're on message and clear and truthful.
Yeah, and I looked at your all's website, of course, and the video you guys have up there, and so video is another good way to, these people might not be ready to reach out to someone, and it's a great way for them to get to know you before meeting you. And and with the social media, if you're doing videos and stuff like that, I've literally had people say, "Hey, I'm ready to sign up with you guys. I feel like I've known you. We've been watching your videos for a year, and I have no clue who they are." But it kind of builds that trust and relationship without ever actually having a conversation.
Yeah, and you talk about videos like our website; those are outdated and need to be updated. And that's actually one of the projects we're working on this summer. But yeah, that's another great thing that drives SEO. Another great way for people to connect with you when they're looking at the webpage.
Yeah, they feel like they get to meet you, see the partners, see what the place is like. So yeah, it can be very powerful. And then these days, in social media, there's always something new and different. And I think there's some that makes sense to adopt, and I think some are, you can wait a while. I think Facebook is a still good one for your industry. People giving recommendations, which is nice.
Yep.
It's easy to share that kind of stuff. So you basically mentioned a little bit there with some improvements. Website update, some video stuff you guys are going to do this summer.
Yeah, we've got a guy that works on our webpage. We talk to him once a week, and his whole job is to know the Google algorithms, what's getting us up in the search pages. So, we had our website in, I forget what format it was in before. I mean, it started out in WordPress, it moved to something else, and then lo and behold, WordPress is where you want to be. So we migrated the site back to that, and I'm sure it'll change again a year from now. But, just having somebody who's, again, having the professional do it. Like, I have no business dealing with a website. They didn't teach me that in law school, right? So, have the professionals know what they're doing and get it done. And so that's the biggest thing. Our guy makes recommendations, we follow them.
Yeah, 100%. I talk to a lot of firms that come through to work with us. And sometimes it's like one of the partners has built the website, and they got like 3 partners and 10 staff members, and one partner's built the website and manages it. So, and we see that common, and then usually it's like, trying to make a case for why they would use us or someone else. And so I say, well, what is your hourly bill rate? It's like, yeah, you need to give us the website, and we'll take care of all this stuff for you. You get back to doing what you need to be doing. But yeah, I think if you're a startup firm, it makes total sense. Make a site, get something up there, do what you can, right? And I've actually interviewed a lot of really talented, bright, younger attorneys that just started like in the middle of COVID or like right before COVID, and trying to survive, and they got some really cool stories. But yeah, that makes total sense to make your own site, put together whatever you can, because you're trying to get started, Yep. But yeah, once you're more established, just like, call you the expert, not try to do it yourself. So,
yep.
Yeah, but it's good to have that support. The website should be always changing, always be updated. Google's always changing stuff, so it's something you got to keep up on. But yeah, get someone that you trust that can take care of you, and that's going to help. Again, keep up in the searches, but then it's also your appearance. If the website's messed up or slow or down, then that's your name, that's your reputation on the line, potentially, right? It depends on who goes to the site. But if you had a referral and they go, well, let me go check out Loren's website real quick first, and then it's like error, not, whatever, 404.
It's almost as bad as a busy signal. Doesn't
Yeah.
do you
So
any
that
good.
might say, well, okay. They look like maybe they don't got their stuff together like I was told. So yeah. Yeah. Busy signal is another one. I hate when I call anybody and it's busy. Yeah. So excellent. All right. Well, for anyone checking out the show, what is the best way to connect? I know you can check out Loren on his website here. I'm going to put that in the comments so everyone can click on it and check it out. Is there a best way to connect with you personally? Is it LinkedIn? Is it email?
Email is always the best.
Email is always the best. Okay.
I think you've got that if you want to throw that in the chat as well. I
will throw that. Give me 1 second and I'll grab it and we'll do it right now. Let's see. Try to go to another tab to grab it, but all right. I'll put that in the comments. I'll add it here too in the chat. So
there it is. Perfect.
All right. Yeah, reach out to Loren, connect with him. I'm sure he'd be happy to chat with anyone that's interested watching that looking to hire, and as well as any managing partner tuning in. Would just like to probably collaborate. I'm sure Loren would be open to that. So,
yeah, and one of the things we do, we've been around a long time and have a lot of relationships. We refer to it as legal triage. If we can't help you, we will get you into the hands of the person who can. But we spend a lot of time talking to folks, just trying to connect them with the right attorney, and that's one of the things we really love to do. So, if you think we don't do it, hit us up anyway, and we'll get you in the hands of the right person.
I love that very much, and I'm very much like that too. I'm actually meeting with some gentlemen this afternoon that we will not have as a client, and we're not going to do anything for them as my company, but I can absolutely help them. So I'm going to sit down with them today and show them exactly what they should do and what I think they should do, and then try to refer them to someone that can actually do the work. But I know what they should do because I have the experience, and then I'm going to refer them to someone. But yeah, I love that. Just happy to help, talk to people, put them in the right direction, and that's going to come back around to you for sure.
Yep.
So
absolutely,
I'm sure it already has. But well, Loren, thanks so much for joining me all the way in Colorado. You are you 2 or 3 hours behind?
I'm Mountain. So are you Eastern?
Mountain time. Okay. Yeah, we're Eastern.
Yeah, so 2 hours behind.
2 hours behind. You got a full day ahead of you.
I do.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining me. We'll be turning it off. Everyone, thanks for tuning in now and in the future, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.